Hi, George here, and today I'll be showing you how to blur a background so that the subject or foreground pops out, just like this. Fairly easy to do, but there are a few steps that you may not know about, but I'll show you the right way to approach this project. We'll start off with our basic image here. And the first thing I normally do, and that's required in this particular project, is to make a duplicate of the background. Right-click where it says background and duplicate layer, choose OK. We'll be working on this layer here, and I'll hide that background layer. That's a safety just in case we don't mess things up. And if we do, we can come back and get right back to work again from that background layer. Now, the first step here is to take this person in the foreground and put her on her own separate layer. So you're removing the background and leaving just her. Fairly straightforward. Use any technique that you like. I showed 3 good techniques in my previous video. You can take a look at that one. In this case, I'll just use the select subject right here. There'll be a little problem on this one, and that's this person back there. Elements thinks that this is part of our foreground subject, so we have to fix that. And a couple other little things that need fixing in here. Nothing major. And I'll switch over here to the polygonal lasso tool, and that shows our selection. And then I'll be zooming in here with the wheel on my mouse. If you don't have that set up, it's easy. Edit, come down to Preferences and General, and it's right here, Zoom with Scroll Wheel. And I'll set this at Subtract and Feathering at 0. And I'll just come down here and make a selection right around this sleeve in here and this glove. When you're using this tool, take your time with this. If you click too fast, it's going to collapse your selection. You'll have to start over again. You don't want to do that, so take your time. If you hold the space bar down, you can move your image. There we go. And I'll just follow along on the finger here and then out and around what I want to take out. Space bar again, up around here, and then close to where you began, double click, and that takes that person out. Right here's a bit of this belt that we need to have in, so let's go over here to Add. Same thing, take your time with this tool. Don't go too fast or it will collapse your selection. You don't want that. And up here, and then double click. There we go. It's a bit right there that got missed. I want to add that in, so same thing, I'll just come around here and do that. There we go, adds that in. Let's check the right-hand side. This is all looking good. Right here is a little bit of our backpack. Let's just grab that quickly. Up around, double click, there we go. There's a finger right down here. I want to catch that. So we're still on add. That's good. Just come in here. Again, make sure you take your time with this tool. You don't want to go too fast with it. Double click. There's a little bit of a rock showing right there. Let's take that out. Switch back over here to subtract. And let's just come around that. Double click. There we go. And spacebar again. But the more time you take and the better your selection, the better the finish is going to be. Just try to smooth out this sleeve here just a little bit like that. There we go. Back around. Okay, back up in here. This is all looking good. A little bit right here I need to add in. There we are. And a little bit right on the hat, right up here. Just a little thin sliver. There you go. This side looks good. And a little bit of her pack again showing over in the background right there. And there we go. Okay. I'll just scroll back out. Or use a Control-0 keyboard shortcut to fit screen. Now that we have her selected, let's go up here to Layer, come down to New, and then Layer via Copy. And she's now on her own layer, as you can see right there. Okay, that takes care of our subject. Let's hide that. I have to do 2 things on this background layer. One is to remove this person back here. I don't want her in the picture. And we also have to do a fix on the edges around this person here. I'll show you why right now. We'll do those as 2 steps. If I blur this background copy, go up to Filter, come down to Blur, Gaussian Blur, and I'll get a pretty good blur like that. Choose OK. I'll bring back in our foreground. And notice you get this kind of a halo around in here. That's that foreground person blurring out in the background a little bit. So that gives us a halo. We need to get rid of that as well. So we'll do both of those steps here. I'm going to Control-Z to back out of that blur. There we go. Okay, first is start down here. And I'll do this the easy way. And that's just to come in here and use Content Aware Fill. I want to keep the edge of this rock down here sharp. So let's come down here like that. And I'll just come around here a little bit. Now, this may not be perfect. It may need to be fixed. Let's make sure we're on the correct layer. That's our background copy. Go up to Edit. Come down to Fill Selection. And I have mine at Content Aware Fill. Opacity 100%. Choose OK. Now got rid of most of that. There's a little bit right here. Control-D to delete that selection. Let's try this again. Just like this. Same thing. Edit, Fill Selection, and choose OK. Okay, it's mostly gone now. And then Control-D to remove that. Now I need to get rid of the edge here of our foreground person and come in about this far all the way around. And we'll do that with the Clone Stamp tool, which is right here. Right now I have this brush set at 25 pixels, and that's good for this particular image. And I have it set with a soft brush, right there, soft brush. And hold the Alt key down and click outside someplace. and then come over where you want to remove that and then just paint in. And I'll try to make it match the background here, like up here, and then come down a little bit and make it match the background. There we go. And it will take a little bit of resetting. Each time I come down, you see that little symbol right there. That means that I am coming in and grabbing a new piece of background in here. And by taking out the edge, that's going to allow us to blur the background and not have that haloing problem that we're having. And bring it right down like that. There we go. I'll do this side next. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of copying some of that background in here. The hands are pretty skinny, so I'm going to just go over the whole hand like that. And if you get anything like this where it's duplicating, just come over, grab something else, and put it in there and hide that duplication. Then we'll just blend into the background, and it will look just fine. Okay, get it up here. I'll get in between right here. They're going a bit like that right up in here. There we go. Space bar. And again, the same thing. I'll grab some stuff from the background, and then I'll pull that in like that. And get some of the clouds and things in here. And a little bit of that mountain edge right there. And just work around and come in and get rid of the outer edge of the foreground figure in here. And we're just about done. There we go. Looking kind of strange, as you can see. But once I bring back in our subject on its new layer, there you go, looks just fine. Okay, so far so good. Control 0 to fit screen. And the next step is to blur out this background. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far and you want to have more of these, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I do 1 or 2 new videos every single week on how to use Photoshop Elements. And if you want to learn Photoshop Elements very quickly, if this is just too slow of a pace for you, no problem, I have you covered. I have a complete training course for Photoshop Elements. It's a video course, and I'll put a link for that at the top of the description. Okay, let's work on this background. Now I need to make a copy of this layer. This is our layer without that person in it. So it says background copy, right click on the name, duplicate layer, choose OK. And we're going to be blurring this layer here, the top one. Go to filter, come down to blur. You want the Gaussian blur and pick a nice blur amount. I'll just put this at 5. That's a pretty good blur in there. And notice we don't have any haloing around the edge. So we've solved that one. But there is another problem. She's too sharp and the foreground right next to her here is too out of focus. We need to have it in focus in the front and out of focus at the back. And we can easily do that by, again, staying on this layer here, background copy 2. Click on the layer mask button. Go over here, left-hand side. Click on the gradient tool, and in here, choose the first gradient. This is your foreground to background. Make sure you like this, white in front, black in back. If it's backwards, like that, just click on that double arrow. So you have white in front and black in back. And then make sure that your layer mask is selected. That's the light blue outline. It should already be selected when you made that layer mask. And then come up here to the top of the picture somewhere, and click and pull down to about here at the bottom. There we go. And what just happened is, with our gradient mask up here on the layer mask, we're showing the blurry layer at the top, and we're hiding the blurry layer at the bottom, and seeing our in focus layer at the bottom. And again, if you want to learn how to use Photoshop Elements quickly and not wait every single week for a new video here on my channel, the best thing is to grab my complete training course for Photoshop Elements. And the link for that is at the top of the description. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.